Keti from Georgia, not the US Georgia, the Tbilisi, Georgia, sent me an email this morning about, well, I'm going to let her tell you, but it was just lovely information and news. And I said, oh, I'm having this Just for Now call this morning. Can I share it? And she said, I'm going to be on that call. This is how things go these days. So I said, well, then you're sharing. So please just take a minute. We'd love to hear from you, straight from you. What a great opportunity.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. I will start telling a little about myself, who I am. This is not my first time joining the call, but not always I can, because in Georgia it's already bedtime for my kids. So usually I do bedtime routine this time. So I'm Keti Devadze from Georgia, not from Tbilisi, but from Batumi. This is seaside.
Sorry.
It's okay, just to know, just to let you know, it's the seaside city. I think it's a beautiful city. And there is a Batumi State University. This is not my main job, because the main thing I'm doing is psychotherapy with children and adolescents. But I'm also invited to be an invited lecturer at the university. I'm doing my PhD in Poland, and I'm working on how fairy tales, folk fairy tales can work with children, with aggressive energy of children. And of course, I'm working with Violet's model and researching this. So let's see what will happen. So last year I was invited as the psychotherapist who has practiced with children and adolescents to develop the course, educational course, psychotherapy with children and adolescents at Batumi State University for the students who study psychology for the bachelor level. And I started to work, and I was very lucky that during the process I was working on syllabus and working study materials while its book was translated in Georgian language. I was here when Bzik Adalakishvili presented the translation of the book. Violet was here also. It was a wonderful call. And I was very lucky to have this material in Georgian language. And I thought that it would be great to use it as the main reading material in this course. So we started this semester. For this fall semester was the pilot course in this subject with this new material, because no one has used it in Georgia, because this is the first edition, translated edition in Georgian language. So it was piloting, it was challenging for me very much, because the new course with new literature. Also challenging was my experience with teaching students, because it was my 4th year of teaching students. So I do not have a big experience. So everything was challenging. So and now, as the course is already finished, the students have already passed their examinations. The faculty evaluated the course as a pilot course, and they say it was very successful. So taking account that the feedbacks of students, they evaluate the program, the teacher, the syllabus, the reading materials anonymously in the university website. And this course is having the highest marks and very lovely comments. And also the students themselves having the very high evaluation marks in the examination. And also I can say that to take into account that the whole course was in distance learning because of COVID pandemic, the big challenge is that at the university, students do not attend the lectures. I mean that lectures, they are not evaluated, they are just listening, and on the practical seminars, they get the marks. And because of this during the online studies, they do very often they are missing the not attending the lectures, and I can understand it's very boring to sit whole day with a computer and listening to different people. But this was not deal with them during our course, because almost all the students, so we had the 60 students, and almost the whole course was attending even the lectures and the practical courses as well. And we had great discussions and lots of questions. I could not switch off the Zoom sessions. And by me as myself, I really enjoyed this process. It was a great pleasure. I'm very satisfied. And we received, I just shared with Karen the letter of students, the group letter they developed on the last session, last lecture. This is the letter for the students, future students who will think to select this subject or not. They prepared the letter. We can share, or I don't know, you can read it. So it's a very lovely letter. How do they share their emotions? And they called that this was a journey, this was a therapy session, feels like a therapy session, and so on. And they seem very satisfied. And almost every day this week, this was last week, I received different emails and messages, and also I even received in the examination papers the notes, the thank you notes, that they enjoyed the course. And I do believe that this is true.
Well, I just forwarded your email. Max is going to put the letter that you sent me in the chat so people can read it. But
it will be.
So thank you for sharing this. And it's just so wonderful. There's a picture that I got of Violet, where she was holding the book translated into Georgian, and I know she was excited about that. And so it's so great to have the follow-up of how it was then used and so well received. So thank you so much for love that.
Thank you very much. And just I will say that it was this semester, it was the elective course. But after this evaluation, the faculty decided that this course will be mandatory for the bachelor students, at least for within the 5 years of the following accreditation years. So all the students who study psychology at Batumi State University, this is quite big university, having the 90 years of history. So they will study this course with Violet's book. So I'm very glad and proud of being a part of this.
This is fantastic. And so the people that are on this call, and then the people that listen to the call on YouTube, maybe Keti, if you could put your contact information in the chat, and anyone who's teaching a course or has in mind to, in any language, I think what you're describing is a very successful model. And I know that others teach the Oaklander model. Lynn does now for a number of years, and it's always well received. So among others. So thank you so much. And that's just congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yay for Violet. My hashtag has been continuing the legacy with love. And you're such a great example of that. So thanks for sharing.